What if I told you that without one tiny discovery, you wouldn't be here right now? Or that time itself can bend and stretch like rubber, depending on how fast you move? Humanity's greatest scientific discoveries haven't just answered questions, they've flipped our entire understanding of reality upside down. From invisible germs controlling life and death, to DNA acting as the instruction manual for life itself, each discovery is like a secret door that reveals an entirely new world. And here's the kicker, the final discovery on this list could literally allow us to rewrite life itself, humans included. Science is the ultimate detective story, filled with twists, shocks, and game-changing revelations. Every discovery we're about to cover reshape the world in ways that can't be overstated. Some are so old we take them for granted. Others are so new they sound like science fiction. But together, they form the foundation of everything we know. Today, we're counting down the top 15 greatest scientific discoveries of all time, and I guarantee some of them will make you question how we ever survived without them. Stick around, because number 12 might just blow your mind. Number 1, Fire and the Wheel of Progress. Let's kick things off with humanity's first great breakthrough, fire. To early humans, fire wasn't just light and warmth, it was survival. Imagine living in a freezing cave at night, surrounded by predators. Fire meant safety, cooked food, and longer waking hours for planning and storytelling. Some anthropologists even believe cooking food with fire helped shrink our jaws and free up energy for bigger brains, literally making us smarter. Without fire, we might still be swinging in trees. Number 2, the discovery of gravity. Now let's fast forward to the 1600s. Picture Isaac Newton, sitting under an apple tree, when an apple supposedly drops on his head. Instead of brushing it off, he asks the most important question: why did it fall straight down? That single thought opened the door to gravity, the invisible force that pulls objects together. Suddenly, the motion of the moon, the orbit of planets, even the tides of the ocean made sense. Gravity wasn't just an apple falling, it was the key to unlocking the entire clockwork of the cosmos. Number 3, germ theory of disease. For thousands of years, people thought disease came from bad air, curses, or even angry gods. Then in the 1800s, Louis Pasteur and Robert Koch shattered that belief. They proved microscopic organisms, germs, were the real culprits behind sickness. The idea of washing your hands, sterilizing surgical instruments, or even pasteurizing milk all stem from this. Here's the shocking twist: before germ theory, surgeons often went from operating on a cadaver straight to delivering a baby, without washing their hands. That single habit change, thanks to germ theory, has saved billions of lives. Number 4, DNA, the code of life. In 1953, James Watson and Francis Crick unveiled the structure of DNA, the twisted ladder that carries life's blueprint. Suddenly, we had the Rosetta Stone of biology. Every eye color, every genetic trait, every inherited condition, all written in those 4 letters, A, T, C, and G. But here's where it gets wild: your DNA isn't just a personal instruction manual. It's a history book, carrying stories of your ancestors going back thousands of years. Scientists have even traced all modern humans back to a common ancestor through DNA. In a way, the entire human race is one giant family. Number 5, electricity, harnessing invisible power. Electricity was always there, sparking and lightning, buzzing and static, but it took centuries to harness. Benjamin Franklin famously flew a kite in a thunderstorm, proving lightning was electricity. But it was scientists like Michael Faraday and Nikola Tesla who turned it into something useful. Imagine the first time a city lit up at night. For people used to candles, it must have felt like magic. The surprise twist? Your own body runs on electricity too. Tiny signals zipping through your nerves make every movement, every heartbeat, possible. Number 6, evolution by natural selection. When Charles Darwin published On the Origin of Species in 1859, he didn't just stir debate, he detonated one. The idea that species evolved over millions of years through natural selection was earth-shattering. Suddenly, humans weren't a separate creation but part of the same tree of life as every other organism. And here's something that often gets overlooked: evolution is still happening today. Bacteria evolve resistance to antibiotics. Urban animals adapt to cities. Even humans are subtly changing in response to modern life. Evolution isn't a theory of the past, it's happening right now. Number 7, vaccination, outsmarting disease. In the late 1700s, Edward Jenner noticed something strange. Milkmaids who caught cowpox never got deadly smallpox. He tested his idea by deliberately infecting a young boy with cowpox, then exposing him to smallpox. The boy survived, and vaccination was born. Smallpox, once humanity's deadliest disease, was completely eradicated by 1980 thanks to this discovery. The twist? Vaccination didn't just save lives, it gave humanity the power to control nature itself. We went from helpless victims of disease to active defenders of our own biology. Number 8, Atomic Theory. Atoms, the tiny building blocks of everything, were first imagined by the ancient Greeks, but nobody could prove they were real. Fast forward to the 19th and 20th centuries, when scientists finally cracked the code. Everything, from the chair you're sitting on to the air you're breathing, is made of atoms. Understanding atoms gave rise to chemistry, nuclear power, and modern medicine. Here's the jaw-dropper: if you removed all the empty space in the atoms making up your body, you could fit into a sugar cube. You're mostly nothing. And just when we thought we had a solid grip on the universe, along came a discovery that flipped reality on its head. It told us time isn't steady, space isn't fixed, and reality itself is stranger than we ever imagined. But hold that thought, we'll get there soon. Number 9, the theory of relativity. Albert Einstein's theory of relativity was the ultimate cosmic plot twist. Time doesn't tick the same everywhere. Gravity can bend light. The faster you move, the slower your clock runs. It sounds like science fiction, but it's science fact. Want proof? The GPS on your phone has to correct for relativity, because satellites in orbit experience time differently than we do on Earth. Without Einstein, your directions to the nearest pizza place would be completely wrong. Number 10, the periodic table. In 1869, Dmitri Mendeleev organized all known elements into the periodic table. It wasn't just neat, it predicted elements that hadn't even been discovered yet. When those missing pieces were later found, they fit perfectly, proving Mendeleev's genius. The table is like the alphabet of the universe, spelling out everything from the stars above us to the iron in your blood. Number 11, penicillin, the accidental miracle. In 1928, Alexander Fleming returned from vacation to find mold growing on his petri dishes. Instead of tossing them, he noticed the bacteria near the mold had died. That mold turned out to be penicillin, the world's first antibiotic. Before this, even a small cut could lead to deadly infection. Penicillin transformed medicine overnight. By some estimates, it has saved over 200 million lives. And to think, it all started because someone didn't clean up their lab. Number 12, the Big Bang Theory. In the 20th century, scientists discovered that the universe isn't static, it's expanding. This meant that everything, galaxies, stars, even time, must have started from a single, incredibly dense point. The Big Bang Theory was born. The wild part? The faint afterglow of that explosion, called cosmic microwave background radiation, is still detectable today. In other words, the echo of creation itself is humming all around us, all the time. Number 13, the Internet and Information Age. The Internet might feel modern, but its invention is one of the greatest leaps in human history. Originally created so scientists could share research, it exploded into something far bigger. Today, knowledge spreads instantly across the globe. Entire revolutions, entire industries, even entire relationships exist because of it. The surprise twist? The internet isn't physical in the way most inventions are. It's an invisible web of connections, a discovery that birthed an entirely new world. Number 14, quantum mechanics. If relativity blew your mind, quantum mechanics will melt it. At the smallest scales, particles don't behave like tiny billiard balls. They can exist in two places at once, teleport across space, and change behavior just by being observed. Einstein himself called it spooky action at a distance. Yet quantum mechanics gave us semiconductors, lasers, and the tech that powers every smartphone. It's bizarre, counterintuitive, and yet it works better than almost any theory in science. Number 15, CRISPR and gene editing. Finally, we arrive at the discovery that might redefine humanity itself, CRISPR. Imagine being able to cut, paste, and rewrite DNA with surgical precision. Scientists can now alter crops to resist disease, engineer animals, and potentially cure genetic conditions in humans. The possibilities are staggering. The twist? We've also opened Pandora's box. The same tool that could save lives could also be misused in ways we can't yet predict. CRISPR is both the most exciting and the most terrifying discovery of our time. From taming fire to rewriting the code of life, these 15 discoveries are more than scientific milestones, they're turning points in human history. Each one took us from ignorance to understanding, from helplessness to power. But science never stops. Which begs the question, what's the next discovery waiting just around the corner, ready to flip our world upside down all over again? So, which of these discoveries blew your mind the most? Was it the Big Bang, quantum mechanics, or the fact that we can now edit DNA like a Word document? Drop your thoughts in the comments, I'd love to see what you think. And if you want more stories that'll reshape how you see the world, make sure to hit subscribe. Because trust me, the next video might just change the way you think about everything.